fish. Alright, so Warhammer 40k 1500 point tournament.
Game 4.
Game 4, we got the Ork Horde by the Big Mac and the Space Marine Salamanders led by a librarian. So we'll get to the battle. It's big guns never tire, 1500 points, down to war deployment. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to go over the army lists for the Orks versus Salamanders Space Marines battle. I got 4 identical squads of Ork boys. Well, not identical, but they have a knob, a power claw, and a boss pole, and they're 30 each. But this squad and that squad are both shooter boy squads, and they both have two big shooters and a big mech custom force one in each one. Then I have 2 squads of 10 looters and a Daka jet with extra super shooters. So a lot of Daka. Now let's go into the Space Marine list.
Okay, yeah, Space Salamander Space Marines, let's just throw them here. Have a Tech Marine with Thunderfire Cannon. I have a group of 6 Devastators. It's 2 normal Space Marines with normal guns, and then 4 missile launchers. It's not, they're just different.
4 missile launchers, okay.
4 missile launchers. Down there I have 8 Scouts. One is the Scout leader with, or the Sergeant with a missile launcher. In here I have, this is a Rhino, normal Rhino, has 10 Space Marines inside. This is a Razorback with an assault cannon, and it actually has 6 Scouts inside, one being a Sergeant with a missile launcher. This is a Vindicator, and we'll just come this way.
Vindicator cannon right here, even though it looks like a Land Raider.
Yeah. This here, those are those 6 guys in there. This is that other group that was in the Rhino.
So what is the weaponry?
All my guys, Flamer, missile launcher, just free things. Flamer, missile launcher inside of a drop pod, and I will be combat squatting those guys. This drop pod has a Librarian who's my Warlord. He has Avenger, and he has Smite. Psychic powers, he'll just use 1 per turn. And then this is a Stern Guard veteran squad. They have 2 flamers, and this is the sergeant. But these 3 guys, or those 3 guys, have the Dragonfire bolts.
2 melting guns.
No. These are not melting guns. These are just normal. I didn't have the points for it. And this here is my my flyer with the Whirlwind missile launchers, I think they're called, and the assault cannon, just normal.
Or Typhoon missile launchers.
Typhoon missile launchers.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Greendawnify is going first. I could not steal initiative.
It's big guns never tire. There's an objective there, so there, and there's 1 inside of those Scouts. And
my Warlord trait.
Oh yeah, Warlord
I did get number 5 on personal, which is if he's within 3 inches of a capture point, they get the invulnerable save.
And I got a useless outflank special rule 1. Alright, so way back, my first turn. Actually, we're gonna roll to see if it's knife fighting right now. It's not knife fighting. So turn 1 for Orks. So I finished my movement phase for the Orks. Just moved all my Orks all 6 inches up. Regular movement phase. Gonna run them, and I'm shooting my looters at stuff. See what happens. Alright, so end of my shooting phases. Ran all my guys up really low. Got 3 3s and 1 1. This squad of top looters shot at the Thunderfire cannon, did nothing. Wasn't able to do anything. But the down here did really good. Looters down here got first blood, took out the Rhino. So now going into the Space Marine board out. Now going into Space Marine's turn 1.
Okay, Salamanders did their drop pod. They came in. This is their movement phase. End of the movement phase. The Warlord came in here. He's within 3 inches of that capture point, so he's going to get his funeral pain for his group. These guys spread out, the Space Marines. I have 2 flamers there. The others are the guys with the Dragonfire bolts. As far as moving, these Space Marines here, this squad just shifted over 6 inches. And that is my movement phase. We're going to come back with some shooting and see what happens. Okay, end of Space Marines turn 1, the shooting phase, the entire turn actually. Like I said, I had popped out my Space Marines from the drop pod. I put my flamers up front, and I made my psychic test for Librarian, which is the Avenger, which is an AP3 flame attack. I went ahead and placed my guys so that I was hitting 9 orcs. He did, actually 9 of those orcs died with that combination of firing, in addition to these 2 guys which were shooting the Dragonfire guns at them, taking away cover. So 9 of the orcs died, 9 of the looters died, 2 orc boys from here died, and actually I killed one of my Space Marines with his Avenger psychic attack. So there was 1 looter left in that bottom group, and he was killed by a snap firing Space Marine with the missile launcher. Took him out, he missed his cover save. Over here, this group, I think there was 5 or 6 orcs that died from the Vindicator, the Demolisher cannon, and then the little Storm Bolter. This Razorback right here with the Salt Cannon, it went ahead and shot at this group of orcs, killed I think 1, and killed maybe another 2 with the Scout that shot a missile launcher from inside, from the firing point. And then the good news here is the Thunderfire cannon actually hit 4 times on this group of 10 orcs that used to be here, and hit 3 times each, so 12 wounds, and had 12 hits, had 10 wounds, and all of them died because I took away their cover. The Devastators and these scouts down below went ahead and shot at this group of orc boys and killed another 5 or 6, maybe a little bit more. But at this point, in the Salamanders turn, and we'll come back with Orcs turn 2.
Alright, so I just finished a movement phase, moved up, and I'm basically, I brought in the Daka Jet, so it moved up 18 inches. So I'm basically going to do my running, some shooting with shooter boys at those guys, take those nasty guys out, and then use that guy, Daka Jet, to blow this guy out. Or maybe something else, I don't know. So I might even call a walk just to get more shots from that guy, probably, I don't know. So now going into Orcs turn 2 shooting. Alright, so shooting, I did call a walk. This guy sucked so bad. I was only able to kill 2. I rolled really bad, wounded pretty bad. I was only able to kill 2 Devastators. They made the leadership. And with running, I called a walk. I rolled horrible. Rolled a 2, re-rolled it, got a 2. Over here, rolled a 2, re-rolled it, got a 2 again. And then for these guys, first roll I got a 4. I mean, it was horrible for the fleet. It wasn't a good walk turn. But these guys did shoot all the shots into the stern guard that were here. Killed 1, put a wound on Librarian, so that was really bad. But assaulted and killed everyone. Only lost 1 boy. To Overwatch, I think it was. Yeah, so now going into Space Marines turn 2. I did get Warlord kill, so I'm 2 points to 0 right now. Actually, if we counted it right now, that'd be 5, and you would actually have 6.
Yeah. Okay, start of Space Marine turn 2. For my reserves, I did bring in my my flyer, Space Marine flyer. Placed it right there. Hopefully, trying to take a shot at that Orc jet. Over here, I placed my my second drop pod. It came in right there. Positioned my guys so that if they were to survive, they'd be in their deployment zone. But just set them up to hopefully get a nice couple shots at those orcs, flame them a bit. Other movement, I moved these Space Marines here, kept the rocket launcher, the missile launcher stationary, so we'll have full ballistic skill. The rest of these guys moved, and all but 3 of them are in rapid fire of those orcs right there. Lastly, well actually these scouts jumped up a level to right there, and this moved over 6 inches, the Razorback. So we'll see what happens here in shooting. I'll come back with the results. In the Space Marine turn 2, I went ahead and shot shot this group of orcs down with rapid firing with my blasters. Also, the rest of these guys, the scouts, they shot and killed a couple of these orc boys here. At this point, they're down to 9. Over here, these Space Marines got close enough within 6 guys to rapid fire and killed like 3 or 4 orcs over here. Let's see what else. This big blast shifted a lot and only hit like 1 or 2 orcs. Everything else shot. The Thunderfire cannon took 8 or 9 orcs away from this group, and then my Devastators took another 3 or 4 away. They're still above 12 or above 10. This group went down below 10. I think they're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 guys left, or 9 guys left, but they made it to leadership, so they're still there. This flyer did come in and took away 2 hull points. It almost, well, he did make his jinx save or dodge, and he has 1 hull point left, but he can only snap fire. So going into Orc turn 3.
Alright, start of Orc turn 3, movement phase, right end of it, I guess. I just moved my orcs up, put that Big Mech into that squad, and took him out of that squad. This Big Mech staying here pretty valiantly. Probably gonna die. It's not good. I'm gonna try to take out one of these combat squads. That plane moved there. And yeah, so now I'm gonna go into shooting and assault. Alright, so I just want to go over the assault. We're done. But with shooting, I don't think I did anything at all. Yeah, I didn't do anything in shooting at all. I got into assault here. Failed to get into assault with the scouts. Lost 2 guys in Overwatch. Got into the drop pod and got into those Marines really well. And I just wanted to say, I just wanted to look at this. All these dead orcs.
Yeah, we
compared just to this.
Yeah, there's like 9 Space Marines dead, but there's 3 groups of 10, and then the 2 groups of Ludus. So it's almost like a 5-to-1 ratio, but it doesn't matter because orcs are an assault. And the tide is turned.
Hopefully. Alright, so now go into the assault phase. In the assault phase, took the drop pod, it blew up, killed a couple of my guys. Over there, killed 1 Space Marine, and I took a wound on my knob. Here I killed a lot of Space Marines. 2 guys died and took a wound on my knob. And they stayed and they stayed. So there's 2 guys still in combat there and over there. So now the Space Marines bottom turn 3.
In the Space Marines turn 3, in movement phase, I moved those Space Marines, get them a little closer to those orc boys right there, hoping to just assault and hit them, maybe wipe them out. These guys, my plane, I went forward 20 inches, sitting right there. These guys are still in assault. I shifted this over 6 inches. Vindicator shifted this Razorback over 6 inches, and that's all my movement. I brought the scouts up another level. They're gonna look out the window and try to shoot those orcs coming at them, and we'll come back with the shooting phase. Into the shooting phase, into turn 3. This orc group, I think, had 9 or 10. In the course of shooting these scouts and these Devastators, they brought them down to like 6 orcs. This Razorback shot at it as well. Like I said, there's 6 orcs here. Over here, the Thunderfire cannon took some shots over here, killed some orcs. This Vindicator shot over here and killed some more orcs, so it's kind of dwindling down. Maybe there's half of the original 30. Over here, I tried to assault to kill this small group of orcs. Though charged with 5 guys, with the help out the original 3, was not able to do anything. They're still locked in combat. Over here, the only good thing in assault is I was able to stand up, killed 2 orcs, lost 3 Space Marines. He just stayed in there. Crazy courage. 1 Space Marine sergeant against a mob of orcs. That's the end of turn 3, and we'll come back with orc turn.
I didn't recap my movement phase, but my plane flew off the board going into ongoing reserves. Moved my orcs behind here. I just did the whole phase. I just assaulted these guys, took out these Marines, and took out those Marines and consolidated. So now into Space Marines turn,
Into turn 4. Scouts, Razorback moved over here. The scouts jumped out. There's like 4 or 5 orcs right here. They went ahead and shot them. These scouts, they just stayed on this level here. Over here, the Vindicator shot at this group of orc and killed like 4. These missile launcher guys and the Thunderfire cannon dwindled this number down to what's shown there: 3, 6, 7, 8 guys. And so that amount died in the blast. Over here, this drop pod shot and killed 1 orc. And we'll come back with the orc turn 5. My flyer went off onto ongoing reserve.
Alright, so end of my movement, shooting and assault. Well, no, there was no shooting. Oh, there was. But movement, moved the big mech into that big squad. They took that objective. These guys moved up here. The plane came out ongoing reserves and shot at these guys, killed 2 of them. And these guys charged Vindicator, took it out, and they're right there now. So now into Space Marines turn 5, possibly the last turn of the game. Hopefully for me.
Okay, into Space Marines turn. Was trying to shoot these guys here. Brought this man off reserve, whittled them down. I don't know, maybe there's 7 or 4 alive. After all these shots from all of these 2 groups of scouts, the assault cannon, these missile launchers, and this guy here, there's still 3 wounds there. He made his leadership. Now to see if the game ends. We'll roll. The game is not
Game
end.
doesn't end.
So we'll go on with
Turn 6.
turn 6.
End of my turn, just kind of moved up. I don't know why. Was able to take off a whole point off that flyaway over there. Shot at some scouts, didn't do anything. But so now going into turn 6 for Space Marines.
Okay, end of Salamanders phase, turn 6. I went ahead and moved this back. I was no longer zooming, so I went ahead and moved backward, but I did shoot at these 2 orcs, was able to kill them. Over here, I shot the Razorback, assault cannons, and all of these scouts, and the Thunderfire cannon, and this here at those orc boys, and diminished them down a bit, and killed 2 people over here. He'll have to make leadership, but right now we're just going to roll to see if the game ends. He rolls 4, which means the game ends. Okay, so that's the end of the game. It's probably close, but I think he's going to win because of the first blood and all that other stuff, but we'll see what happens.
Alright, so the game's over. It was a nail-biting game till the very end, till the dice rolled and the game ended. I mean, all I had left were these guys. Space Marines had his drop pod here, that plane over there, and all those Space Marines in that fortification. But
it was a tied objective with victory points.
yeah, I held that place, and he held the objective over there. But I had Line Breaker, First Blood, and Slay the Warlord. Line Breaker by that guy. And Slay the Warlord, killed the Librarian, First Blood, took out the Rhymer with my Lunas. So, the Orks advanced forward into the tournament just barely, beating out the Space Marines, having to face the Tyrians next game. So now we have all the winners for the first round of the tournament. Alright, well, we were actually wrong, since actually the game's not over, since I rolled a 4, not a 1, 2, or 3. So, I went through my turn again, just moved my docket jet almost to the end of the table, still on, moved the boys in a position to where they're all holding the objective, and so now in the Space Marine, the last one of the game, this is the last turn, this is turn 7. Space Marine just gotta knock me off and they win, but if they don't, I win. So I guess let's see what happens.
Okay, end of the 7th turn for the Space Marines. With my flyer, I zoomed over there. He has a line breaker over here. These scouts moved through cover and took some shots at that group of Orks. This assault cannon, a Razorback with assault cannon, moved over and shot at the Orks. These guys really couldn't see it. With the Thunderfire cannon, I took a bunch of kills away from the cover away from these Orks, and there's like 6 guys that died. With these 2 guys, I killed 1 Ork right there, so right now he has to make leadership.
Alright,
for both
so
of them.
I'm going to try to make a leadership. They both fall back. The game wins for the Space Marines. For the Big Mac squad, leadership 8. Fail it, but I'm going to do Lost Pull. So here's the reroll. Make it with a 4. But one of the punches, so he punches and kills the knob. And now, for this knob over here, makes it with a 7. Alright, so game ends. Orc victory with capturing the objective, slay the warlord, line breaker, first blood, and I killed a heavy support choice. So that's 7 to 4.
Okay, so that's the end of the game. Just 3 Orks survived. A couple Space Marines, if they had another shot, another round, they could have taken them out. But they went ahead and win, make their leadership, and they stand pat. So that's the end of the game. Space Marines did better than I thought. Usually against Orks, they just get slaughtered. I did have a really good shooting game with this Thunderfire cannon. The assault cannon, the Razorback did well with this in addition. But yeah, it was a good game. It was close, came down to the end. So Ork win, and we'll come back and update the bracket.
Alright, to update our Warhammer 40k tournament, the Ork Horde beats out the Salamanders Space Marines. Now is ready to face off the Tyranids of High Fleet Oregon. Well, the next game we do play will be the Tau versus the Tau of Viola versus my Speed Freak Ork list. So be looking for that one.